the day you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. So this image here is quite a good image because it kind of represents your fitness journey as a whole. So here we're planting the seed, and obviously for a fruit tree to grow, it needs to be watered, it needs to be taken care of, and it needs to have sunlight to it. So it's the process of growing. Now, a lot of people, this quote here, the day you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. It is so simple, but it should knock home to you that you need to have the patience, the discipline, and commitment to see out the weeks, even when you don't get instant results and you only feel like you're making a tiny bit of progress, or you don't feel like you make progress at all. They're the important days, because that builds character as well. So I want to move on to these two comments that I hear quite often is, I don't feel like I'm making progress and the scales have gone up since yesterday. Now, if we're only 2 weeks into you making healthier choices and better daily habits, that is literally a speck in the ocean when you've abused your body, let's just say for 3, 4, maybe 5 years. 2 weeks is nothing, but I guarantee if you do everything right, you should start to see small changes that are happening to your body, but also your mood, your energy, things like motivation will feel a lot better. Now, there's 2 things that I need you to be aware about. So, being so early on in the process, things are only starting to kick off. Now, with the other comment as well, the scales have gone up since yesterday. Yes, we want the scales to go down, but losing body fat might take a little bit longer than usual. Now, if you are getting stronger, fitter, healthier, your mood has increased, your energy, your focus, clothes are starting to fit better, and your daily habits have dramatically changed, you just need the patience and discipline and commitment to keep seeing out those shit days where you don't see the progress being made. But, look, 8 weeks ahead, you are going to be in a totally different place to where you were when you first started as well. So always remember that the day that you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. Have the patience, because something is blossoming, but you've just got to be patient and see out those shit days. So, the last image that I want to talk about, and it's a really good image and something that really represents everybody's journey. Now, if you have a block of marble, and that's what you're starting with in your fitness journey, is an analogy for you. So you've got a block of marble, you've got a chisel and a hammer. And let's just say by the end of 6 months, you want to have the leanest physique possible. But in this term, you want to create a Greek god out of that marble. Now, every single day you get 1 chip. But with that 1 chip, it represents your diet, it represents sleep, it represents hydration, it represents the intensity that you brought to your training, the steps that you're getting, and just generally making better daily habits. 1 chip every single day. Let's just say you've done 7 chips by the end of the week. You are not going to see much difference to this block of marble like here, where it's got a couple of kinks. But let's fast forward to 4 weeks. You're probably starting to see the shape take place as well. So same again, it's all about that patience and just being so determined to keep going week by week, even though you get 1 chip. And hopefully this kind of makes it a lot simpler for you to say, right, stop wanting instant results, because it just doesn't happen like that. If you could click your fingers, great, but you haven't worked for it, you haven't gone through hardship, you haven't overcome hurdles, you've not grown as an individual. But by the end of, let's say 6 months, and you've set 6 months for this holiday, you are going to have this piece of art here. So a lean physique, healthier, you've learned a lot through the process. So just have the patience to keep going every single week for those small changes, and I guarantee you'll feel a lot better about yourself